Welcome to Outlaw Nation here on the Shady Sports Network. I'm your host, Stephen Foster.
Thank you to this episode's sponsor, TDS Fiber. At TDS Fiber, our fiber internet gives you more when you need it most. Visit us at tdsfiber.com to see where our fiber internet will take you today. Once again, thank you to TDS Fiber for sponsoring the Billings Outlaws and this episode of Outlaw Nation.
On this week's show, we get to visit with QB1 of our Billings Outlaws, Vincent Espinoza. Welcome, Vincent, and thank you for being on the show.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. It's a blessing. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, so as a dual threat quarterback, what gives you more joy? A long run to the house or a long pass to the end zone?
I've experienced both, and I believe the long pass, the passing touchdowns for some reason just feel better than running touchdowns.
I
I mean,
love
all touchdowns feel amazing, but you know what I mean?
it. Right, we're splitting hairs here.
Yeah.
Hey, so the XFL kicked off this weekend, and we've seen their new rule changes result in some great endings to a couple of games. How excited are you for the new CIF rule changes?
Um, I'm pretty excited for it. I don't mind change. It's my job to adapt to whatever's handed to me. I feel like that's the mindset I gotta take with everything. Because at the end of the day, we all got to play underneath the same rules. So it's just whoever's trying to, adapt to it. I think that's what matters the most. So I'm excited.
How important is this training camp you guys are heading into, especially not having a preseason?
Um, I'm gonna say it's important. Every day is gonna have to, we gotta be locked in every single day. All day through meetings. Every rep that we're gonna have. A lot of that, you know, is is always important, even after camp, leading into season. Because like I said, whatever we're doing in camp is gonna roll into week one. So it's looking forward to it.
Hey, so I know you grew up in Madera, California. I'm also from California. I also grew up in that area. I remember high school football being a pretty special environment. How fun was it playing football in Central Valley and other parts of California?
From what I remember, it was definitely thrilling. Our stadium was always packed. The Coyotes. Uh, it was a very good atmosphere. Good school spirit. Even now, they're under head coach Kenny Paulinelli, who's a great coach. Has been one of my mentors growing up. He's watched me grow as like a kid, but it's fun. Even when I go out there and help them out, like the atmosphere is amazing and it's
I've been,
nice.
I've been gone from California for like a little over 10 years now. I really miss homemade Mexican food. What is something that you're going to miss about California?
I ain't gonna lie to you. Every time I leave Cali, I miss the Mexican food. Like
Yeah,
I eat a lot of it. My family's Mexican, so that's something you just can't get outside of Cali. I feel like.
for sure. You're going to definitely miss it here. I promise you.
Yeah, and I mean, I like all foods, but after like I want to say from the experiences I had when I left Cali, after like a good month, it's like, all right, I need to have some
As
good
soon as I
Mexican food.
visit my parents back in Fresno, the first thing I do is I get me some tacos and a breakfast burrito for sure.
Yeah, like there's so many ways to like roll tacos. Like yeah, roll tacos gotta be my number one, but enchiladas, like all of that for sure. It's
Yeah.
definitely different.
Hey, so you're listed as 6'3", 2'5", 210. You can run, you can jump, great arm strength. Where does that size and speed come from? Are your parents athletic, or do you have any other athletes in your family?
Actually, I'm the tallest one in my family. Um, my grandpa was he was pushing about 6 foot, 6 foot one. Um, but other than that, yeah, I'm like honestly like from what I last time I tested, I'm pushing 6'4". So tallest one in my family. My uncle, he still holds the wrestling record at the high school for the Coyotes. He was athletic. He's the one who kind of pushed me, influenced me to be in football a lot, and just that's pretty much it. And then my grandma, she passed in 21 in February, and she's the one who really, really made sure I was locked in on football growing up. So, you know, um, yeah, I want to say that pretty much like like I said, other than my uncle, and then I have some family members that are athletic now, but yeah, I'm the tallest one.
Sweet. So, all right, we're going into a new segment called the six shooter. All right, here we go. Your favorite ice cream,
Gotta go with pecan praline,
favorite pizza topping.
pineapple.
UFOs are real, yes or no?
I'm gonna go with yes.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs,
What goes first, the milk or the cereal?
cereal.
Mountain retreat or beach resort?
I'm gonna go with the beach resort.
And that is our six shooter segment. Thank you for playing that. Is it easier or harder to carve up defenses on an indoor field versus an outdoor field?
In the beginning, getting introduced into the indoor game, it was quicker. I definitely prepared for it. When I was first signed to the Barnstormers in 2020, I was preparing for it. I was already trying to practice months ahead of time, practicing on a half the field, and it was 8-on-8. That's like flag football out here, honestly. Like like in the off season, I still play in flag football tournaments. Just stay active, stay competitive, and I was kind of already used to that, but like reading defenses, there was so many like getting adjusted to the rules and stuff like that. Especially my first year, it was it was a little like different. So I spent usually that whole training camp and actually after our offensive meetings with Coach Amir, I would stay with the defensive meeting as well, so I can get used to the defensive schemes and stuff like that. So that way, because in camp, yeah, it's offense versus defense. We're competing for the spot, but I was already looking at week one. Like I'm trying to get adjusted and start seeing those things during camp. So rolling to week one, I wasn't gonna be shocked. And in the beginning, it was a little hard because it was a little weird, you know. But once I started to adapt to it, and I started to see things a lot easier. So compared to outdoor, I would say indoors a little easier.
Okay. We talked about your high school days in Madera. You played college in Pennsylvania. You played in places like Iowa and Kansas. You played in places, like in the Bay Area.
hmm
Of all the places that you played, what is your favorite and why?
Honestly, I would say my JUCO. I would. I honestly, I mean, I enjoyed everywhere I went. That's the thing. I always brought my family wherever I went as well. I have two boys. But at the time, it was. I would say my JUCO days, honestly, because that's when, I was still proving myself. This is when I played at West Hills College in Kalinga. Um, we went to we went back to back champions there. I started learning a winning culture there. There's a lot of like learning experiences by myself too, as like a young man coming up with like, responsibilities and holding myself accountable. And it was I feel like that was like a great point in my life where I started to really understand myself and focus on what I wanted. And when I went to Lincoln, it was great experiencing the East Coast. My sister ended up moving out there. My parents moved out there, and it was amazing. Um, I've love for everywhere. Honestly, Iowa was nice. I liked Iowa, Bay Area. I'm from Cali, so it was good. It was comfortable.
Is this going to be your first time coming to Montana?
Yes, sir. Montana is one of the few states that I have not been to yet.
Nice.
Heard
What do
it's
you?
beautiful, so I'm excited.
Oh, it's super beautiful. You'll enjoy it once you get some time to go out and enjoy it. Uh, what do you? Speaking of that, what are you interested in outside of football? Do you play any other sports?
No, right now I stream actually. Play competitive Call of Duty. So I stream on. I was streaming on Twitch, which is a streaming platform,
Yeah.
for a couple years, and I recently switched over to YouTube. So a lot of my gaming content is just Call of Duty. So that's what I want to do for the rest of my life is be a content creator, and other than that, coach and personal train. So those three things are pretty much what I do.
Very cool. One of the differences between NFL style football and indoor style football is that receivers can get a running start. Is that timing something difficult to work on?
It definitely chemistry, I would say, especially when you got one receiver coming in jet motion, which is coming across either across my face and the other receivers coming down the line on the other side of the field. So that has to be repped. Now, one thing about these high motions, it has to be repped, and the timing has to be it because the high motions for the offense, it's an advantage for the offense. So, I would say it is just chemistry, repping it a lot. Different forms of high motion. Um, it makes the game fun for sure. I like it.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. You've had some great success as a football player, from MVP to champion. What's your favorite football memory thus far?
The FCS bowl game in Daytona. That was right after my season. My senior season wasn't going as planned, so to get invited to that to play amongst top tier players, and it was kind of to prove myself. Like, okay, like I love that. I love trying to I love competing. I love setting the bar higher for myself so I can hit it. But going there, I kind of got there and I was like underdog. I was from a Division 2. I was from an HBCU. Like I was kind of like no like high rep when I got there. But then once I started to play, things, that's when it started to show. And, coming out as the overall MVP, like that was, I'll never forget that. I shed tears after that day, because it was almost like finally seeing your hard work pay off. So that
Yeah,
was probably
that
one of
was
the best feelings.
that was an amazing game. I was watching the highlights on that today. I mean, that was crazy
Yeah, I was definitely locked in.
for sure. Hey, you're very mobile. You're a mobile. We kind of consider you a very mobile quarterback. Can you rank your top 3 favorite mobile quarterbacks?
Around 2013, I started to really like, because coming out of high school, I wasn't the fastest. But after high school, I started to really train speed, and I started running from 2014 to 2020. I was running in the 4.3 range, so 4.3 to 4.4 range. My first quarterback that was Robert Griffin III, RG3 when he was at Baylor. That's who really like influenced me. But like, damn, he's fast, And the one thing I loved about him is he could throw in the pocket with the best of them. So I was like, like, okay. So I'll say RG3. Uh, I mean, Lamar, he's up there. I don't know, like almost every quarterback's pretty athletic now. Sheesh. I don't know.
No
That's a
pressure.
tough one. I mean, Michael Vick, he's up there
Yeah, I,
for
I was I
sure.
was I was pondering this question too. It's super hard.
It's
I'm a
hard.
49ers fan, so I grew up watching Steve Young. I'm like, he's one of the first mobile quarterbacks I ever saw. So
Yeah, I like. Yeah, no, I don't. That's a tough one. There's so many.
yeah, it's really hard to rate top 3. It really is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
top three. Justin Fields is pulling off some crazy long runs. Like, yeah, no, that's a tough one.
for sure. Hey, so what can Outlaw Nation expect from you this year?
My all, my 100%. Whatever I can give. Obviously winning games. Trying to giving our team the best opportunity to win each game. Whether it's just anything. That's all I can do is just give my all. Prepare, train. Practice. We got one thing I would say is I treat every practice like it's game day. Mentally prepare myself before practice, and because I'm a true believer that it does carry on to game day. Like each rep, even when I'm tired or whatever, like I gotta, I get into that fourth quarter mentality. Like, all right, this is where it wins games. So I'm looking. We got to go 1-0 every single week. That is the goal.
Nice. I like that. Hey, thank you, Vincent, for joining us tonight. I really appreciate you being on the show. I'm hoping you have an amazing season, and I'm super excited to have a front row seat to watch you this season. I cannot wait. I hope you have a fantastic year.
Sure. Thank you so much. That truly means a lot, and that's the plan.
And as always, thank you to Outlaw Nation, and we will see you next week here on the Shady Sports Network.